This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet world, West Alabama. How are we doing today on a Wednesday? It's the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com, Alabama Crimson Tide on SI. Hope you and yours are doing well. We're going to have a lot of fun today in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. You're watching us on the BamaCentral YouTube channel. You're checking us out on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. You're probably checking us out on the BamaCentral Facebook page, Alabama Crimson Tide on SI. We're going to have a lot of fun today with Mason Woods talking about Alabama football. What are we, Mason? 38 days away from kickoff. We've got kickoff coming up next. Oh, my gosh, we're 7 days away from camp. Fall camp opening next Wednesday, 1 week from today. So we are right on the precipice. We're going to talk some football. We're going to play our interview with Tim Keenan from last week at SEC Media Days in Atlanta. We had a little bit of fun with old Tim Keenan, Alabama's defensive leader right there, the spiritual leader, as we wrote about on BamaCentral.com. He is donating some of his NIL to his church, just straight up tithing and offering some of the NIL money from Tim Keenan. So we're going to hear from Tim Keenan, about 4 or 5 minutes of him. We're going to talk about Tayden Kaawa, new quarterback, 2 quarterbacks in the class of 2026.
A little surprising.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that and why. And then we are going to go over to Big Ten and ACC Media Days. We're going to have a little bit of fun talking about some of these coaches' comments, some of these pot shots across the bow to the SEC. Notice when some of these graphics that are coming out today about SEC scheduling, the Alabama Crimson Tide is getting excluded from some of these some of these scheduling trolling jobs because Alabama's playing not 1 but 2 Power 5 opponents, Power 4 opponents this year in 2025, and really has a lot of Power 4 opponents coming up over the next decade. So, we got a lot to get into today. Want to remind you that we are brought to you by Derek Daniel State Farm Insurance. You can find Derek right here in Northport, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Well, no, Northport, Alabama. We're right up Highway 69 North, just past the Tiger Rock on the left. Derek Daniel, like a good neighbor, State Farm and Derek Daniel is there with your home, life, and auto insurance needs. 205-758-3391. He's got a full house upstairs right now. You can go ahead and get on the phone with some of his people, get you a very fast auto insurance quote. I told you a couple times on Monday and on Tuesday that Derek Daniel helped me with my homeowner's insurance. I've had my homeowner's insurance with him for many, many years, but finally had to use his assistance over the weekend. A little bit of a power line going down, and Derek was like, okay, call this person, call that person, call this person, and we'll get you back online very soon. And yes, the power is back on in the house very, very soon. So Derek was excellent at taking care of the Joe Gaither household over the weekend, and he'll take care of your household as well. All you got to do is call him 205-758-3391. With that, we get into it with Mason Woods. Mason had a fairly decent day yesterday, getting a recruiting article up on BamaCentral.com. Follow Mason Woods at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine. Good morning, Mason. How we doing?
Yeah, doing good. Like you said, a little bit of news in the Bama sphere. Alabama getting the commitment from the 4-star quarterback Tayden Kaawa. Now, some people I saw questioning the validity of that 4-star ranking. He is a 4-star as according to the 247 Sports composite ranking. So argue with your mama on that one. 6'5", 235 pounds. Kind of a similar skill set, I would say, to Jet Tamala, maybe a little bit more able to extend plays with his feet, a little bit, he had like 300 some odd yards rushing last year. So maybe a little bit more athletic, but big time arm, can make a lot of the throws that you want him to all across the field. I'm interested to see what this means for Alabama moving forward, how these 2 quarterbacks are going to be competing really with the guys that will be remaining after this season.
So we'll talk about that here in just a little bit, absolutely, because that was the biggest piece of news for Alabama football yesterday, besides all the trash talking from all these coaches. Now, Alabama wasn't specifically in any of these coaches' mouths, which I do appreciate, but it was big shots at the SEC and their scheduling model. Look, I just think we just need to go to 9 conference games and shut everybody up. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. What I want to lead the show off with is our interview with Tim Keenan. Our friend Katie Wyndham has a Bama defensive line breakdown on BamaCentral.com. She handled the position preview today. She's now knocked out 2 of the position previews in the first 3 days. She did running backs on Monday. She did defensive line this morning. You can read it. She got James Smith right there. Good, Katie, well done. That's the man this year. I know we're about to hear from Tim Keenan, but it's about to be James Smith wrecking shop, is my opinion, this season. So well done, Katie, with the cover image of James Smith on there. We're going to hear from Tim Keenan. She wrote running backs and defensive line. I did linebackers yesterday. I think we're going to have quarterbacks and wide receivers to close the rest of the week. And then next week, we'll get into the big boys, offensive line. We'll have defensive backs, specialist, and who did I miss? Tight ends as well. Cannot forget about the tight ends. So let's hear from Tim Keenan. 4 or 5 minutes from Alabama's defensive line leader. Tim Keenan would join me at SEC Media Days, and we appreciated his time. I appreciate the SIDs. Want to thank all the SIDs that were there. You had Steven Gonzalez, Nick Searcy, and Aaron Suttles from Alabama was walking around the players. I appreciate all 3 of those gentlemen for allowing me some time with their said player. This is our interview with Tim Keenan. I'm Joe Gaither with BamaCentral.com. Alabama Crimson Tide on SI.
Okay,
glad to talk to you. We see you in the season. You look a whole lot more better than you, and now more.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Jim, as a Ramsey Ram, what's it mean to you to be here today representing Alabama from Birmingham and being here to represent Alabama?
I mean, it's a blessing and a privilege and an honor. I mean, it's the most beautiful thing ever, especially coming from Ramsey, from a team that didn't have a football team like that many years ago, not too long ago, and to be able to be in this position that I am, I just give all the glory to God.
Well, you were a great player under Coach Saban and his system, and you're still a great player under Coach Womack's system. What's the biggest transition? What's the hardest part about changing from Coach Saban's 2-gap system to Coach Womack's system?
It's just all about adapting. You got to learn how to adapt, because if you would go to the league, you'll learn a whole new system. It just is the same way. So it's about attention to detail, how fast you want to learn things, how fast you want to, grasp a concept and really get on that field. But Coach Womack, his plan and his scheme has been amazing of everything.
What do you think is the best part about your game?
Just my consistency. Feel me? I'm consistent in what I do. You can count on me, like, to go make a play when the play need to be made, and just how I am. Like, I'm a real low maintenance guy.
Absolutely. What would you say? Obviously, the team goals are very, very high. Mm-hmm. What's Tim Keenan's goals for himself individually?
Just to be the best player I can possibly be the best teammate, be the best leader I can be, just be the best player I can be in just a consistent day-to-day basis. Of course, I want to break records and do all this other stuff, but it's just hard work. I don't want to look too far ahead, and it's okay to have goals and dreams, but you got to be where your feet are, most of all.
Who would you say is going to be the unsung hero of this year's Alabama defense?
It's going to be a lot of them. I say that. Like, there's going to be a lot of guys that's played, like, very important parts that you may not know off the bat, and I don't want to name names, so I don't want to forget none.
Absolutely. What's it like playing for Coach Roach, and what's your relationship like with Freddie Roach?
Coach Roach, it's amazing. He makes it feel like high school as far as relationship-wise, but as far as developmental standpoint, he's going to get you to the best, the best technique possible. He's going to develop you. He's going to coach you hard. He's going to get on your tail, but once you get there, it's levels with it. When you're a freshman, he's on you hard. Like, now in the position I am, it's really like learning the different type of angles and different little steps of the game. Now we can talk like that. So I thank God that Coach Roach was able to be my coach.
You got a lot of tough road games this year. Mm-hmm. What's the road environment you're looking forward to playing in most? Florida State, South Carolina, Georgia, Missouri, Auburn as well. So yeah. 5 big road environments. Mm-hmm. Which one are you most excited to go see the crowd and see how it goes?
All of them, because especially this being my last year of college football, I really want to be able to play every game that I can for as long as I can, because, of course, it's big dreams after college, but nothing is promised. So I want to take every opportunity I can to, have fun and do what I love.
You got another Ramsey Ram on the team, QB Reese. What should we be looking for QB Reese?
Man, QB Reese been making great strides, and it's been amazing having him on the team to, see somebody else from the same school that they didn't think nobody else would make it from to make it. So I just thank God that he's been working his tail off, and I can't wait to see what he does this season.
All right, last one for me. What's it like? Can you encapsulate what it's like playing in Bryant-Denny Stadium?
It's the most amazing feeling ever. Like, it feels like you're a gladiator in a way, and everybody wants you to win. You the one fighting the lion, and everybody want to see you conquer that lion one day. So it's amazing, and I'm glad I get to be a part of it and have that script there on my chest.
Tim Keenan, Alabama defensive lineman, right here at SEC Media Days. Thank you so much for your time. Best of luck the rest of the day. Look forward to the season. Can I get that from you?
What did? Oh yeah.
None of the jewelry, just my piece. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you so much. You're good. Thank you very much.
You can tell I'm a little confused. Huh? My phone. Yeah.
He thought I was asking for the.
No, sir. You cannot have my chain. Oh man, I hate to tell him, but like Tim, I think you're the lion in this situation more often than not. You're maybe not the gladiator. You are the lion. You are the one eating the gladiators in this arena here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. But however, I do like that analogy there.
I recently watched Gladiator 2.
I still haven't watched
about 2 weeks ago.
Good movie?
2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, it was about a B-.
Not as good as the first.
It was about a C+ to me. Yeah, no, it was good enough to watch it. I was happy that I did watch it. I was like, okay, that wasn't a complete, but it as far as comparing to the first, not even holding a candle.
Yeah. It seems to be the way things go with these, reboot sequels, whatever you want to do, especially when they're this far removed from the first one.
It just seemed like it tried too hard to connect to the first one.
Yeah.
To like make sure that, hey, this guy is tied into that guy, and this character is tied into that character. And I was like, you're forcing it a little bit. Tim Keenan, defensive lineman at Alabama, really get just a lot of, not a whole lot of meat there, but a good bit of just time to see him. He's always been good in Mount Moore as far as being a good interview. I'm looking forward to seeing him this year. The biggest thing to me that really I took from that little 4 or 5 minutes was him talking about the difference between the Nick Saban system and the Kane Womack system, and really saying it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If I play in the NFL, I have to play in different systems. I'm going to have to show that I can adapt to different systems. You got 32 different NFL teams. You're probably running 3, 4, 5 different schemes in the NFL. Really, probably just 2. As far for his position, 1 gap versus 2 gap. And so I think that he's really embraced the Kane Womack system. I definitely personally just thought he was better in the Nick Saban. I'm gonna go head up on the nose guard and 2 gap the A gap right here. But I think that he's a quality player, and I'm looking forward to seeing him this year.
I think so too. Certainly a little more impactful, I think, like you said, maybe prior to this past season, but he also was still getting familiar with a new, system. So, we'll see this year if he can kind of reach his former peak, maybe, and maybe surpass it, maybe play himself into being a relatively high draft pick this year. I don't know. I expect pretty big things from Tim Keenan this year.
I do too. I think that you got Theo Fernandez, who has compared him to, oh my gosh, who's the New York Giant, Dalvin Tomlinson. He thinks that he's going to be a Dalvin Tomlinson type, where he works himself into 2nd, 3rd round draft grade. And shoot, if you told me Tim Keenan's a second round pick, you're feeling good.
Yeah, Dalvin Tomlinson carved himself out a nice career,
cashing some checks. That's what it's all about. People get so confused about an NFL career. Well, he didn't win Super Bowls. If you stay in the league and you're cashing 3, 4, 5 years worth of checks, you have a successful career.
I saw someone say that Cam Newton was a bust the other day.
You should never watch them again. You should never listen to them again.
What are we doing? The man won an MVP.
Got to a Super Bowl, won an MVP, and cashed multiple years of checks.
What are we talking? We have lost the plot, people. It was just some reply to a tweet, something, but it was just like, what are we doing, folks? Oh, insanity.
Maybe we're a little bit too much of Cam Newton stands on this show, but yeah, you've
bust is ridiculous.
That's insane. That is nuts. All right, so the defensive line, how we feeling, Mason Woods? You think that when's the last time Alabama had a dominant defensive line? Was 17? It 16, 17? Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Fadarian Mathis fan good player, but not like
Sure.
superstar.
Barmore was solid.
Yeah, but he just didn't have enough
Yeah.
with him. And it was like, oh, maybe Barmore will get through the line. And Saban didn't love Saban. He frustrated Saban. I think he loved the skill set.
Sure.
I think he didn't love the recklessness.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think you got to look back to what Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, those years.
Yeah, 16, I think, is probably your answer. Superman sack. So, do you see a dominant defensive line in the trio of Tim Keenan, James Smith, and LT Overton? I guess you technically get the Quay Russaw as in the 4 of a 4-2-5, but I see Russaw as outside linebacker. I think the Wolves are an outside linebacker. I really think Alabama runs a 3-3-5, but you can't say 3-3. People get really icky when you say 3-3-5. They think about the old West Virginia 3-3-5 stack, and they think about, oh, that's bad defense. They get really icky with that. But I do think that Alabama is really running a 3-3-5 system. You see a dominant defensive line with Tim Keenan, James Smith, and LT Overton.
Dominant is tough. I mean, I see a very good defensive line. I see an above average, certainly probably one of the top 3 or 4 units in the SEC, maybe a top 10 unit in the country. But do I see like dominant? This is the best defensive line in the nation. They're going to be winning awards. All these guys are about to go for first, second round draft picks. I don't know. I don't know. Really, just we just got done talking about Tim Keenan, how he kind of, I don't want to say struggled last year, but just wasn't as impactful as we were maybe expecting him to be. Now that was a year 1 in the new system, so we'll see all of these guys take a huge leap this season. But I don't think that you can necessarily count on that. I would expect all of them to take marginal leaps at the very least, sure. So we will see an improved group over last year, but I think we saw a good group last year. I think we'll probably see a very good group this year. I don't know that we'll necessarily see an elite group.
All right, so looking at Katie Wyndham's little project here. You've got, good for you, Katie, putting the Bandits with the defensive line. Good for you. Well done. Since I took Wolves and put them with the linebackers yesterday. Katie, she's the best. She's the absolute best. If you're not following Katie Wyndham, follow her at Katie Wyndham _. Follow her and send her a comment this week congratulating her Saturday, her pending nuptials. So far, everything that I've heard is everything's going great, so can't wait for that on Saturday. What do you think? I asked him about unsung heroes. So let me throw out some names here because
I've got mine.
Okay.
I've got who I want it to be.
Okay, perfect. Deontay Lawson on yesterday's show really said, man, the whole defensive line. He copped out, but he did give us a piece. Tim Keenan definitely copped out, saying too many to name. But I think if we combine Deontay Lawson's answer and Tim Keenan's answer, do some inferring.
Yeah.
I think that there are some defensive linemen here that could pop. We've talked about a lot of DBs, and this question's really derived from Bray Hubbard's season last year, but I think the DBs are pretty much well known, unless you're looking at a Xavier Mincy who just comes off the bench and comes from not nowhere, but comes from zero production to a lot of production. I think the rest of the DBs have a lot of hype, and so I don't really know if they're unsung. But look at Katie Wyndham's depth chart here, and obviously we just told you the starters. We just got you going on Tim Keenan, James Smith, and LT Overton. But I'm seeing right behind them lots of interesting names. You go with the number 2s on the Bandits. I think you could pick almost any of these 4: Kelby Collins, Jordan Renaud, Keon Keeley, Fatutua Henry, new transfer, and then you got right behind Tim Keenan, Jeremiah Beeman, and Isaiah Funga, right there behind Tim Keenan. And then your defensive end guy right behind James Smith, Edric Hill. We've talked about Stephen Bolabumwa, and then we haven't really talked about London Simmons, incoming freshman. What do you think? If the unsung hero is a defensive lineman, Mason Woods, his name is...
My gut wants me to say Steve Bolabumwa because, one, I want to be saying that name all year, every play, every opportunity I get. I want to be screaming that name. I also think just being a guy who had to spend the year in JUCO. He's going to be extra hungry. He's playing with a bit of a chip on his shoulder, I would imagine. But also, I think my brain is leading me toward Kelby Collins. I think Kelby Collins was brought here for a reason. I think there was a reason they went out and got some talent at this position, and they got a guy that they certainly wanted in Kelby Collins, a guy that was very good at Florida in limited production, mind you, but good in the time he was on the field. I'm very excited about what he can do in a system where, from everything we've kind of heard, and players talking about it, and then also kind of like the few recruits I've gotten to speak to, like Alabama just lets players play so much freer than a lot of other players do. They let guys just kind of do a lot of different things and play the way they want to play. I imagine that's what Kelby Collins was looking for, leaving the situation he was at Florida. So just kind of telling him, hey, go out there and make some plays. I'm excited to see what he can do.
Yeah, I'm with you right there. I think that Collins and Renard are your answers. I think Kelby Collins and Jordan Renard are probably, because Jordan got in some action last year towards the end of the year. And I think that you started to see, the coaching staff likes what he's doing. He's getting more opportunities. And didn't really pop just based on timing and Jordan Renard. Let me make sure what he actually got into for. But I do remember him getting much more action towards the later part of the year. Here we go. Depth of play, 12 games, total 14 stops, 1.5 tackle for a loss. But really, a lot of these games are towards the end. Tennessee, Missouri, LSU, Mercer, Oklahoma, Auburn, Michigan. 3 tackles against Michigan. Ugh, what a terrible game! I've erased the Michigan game from my memory.
Yeah, I don't really know that you can count that performance against anybody on this defense or anybody on this team for that matter.
Unplugged. I don't know. Out of gas. Not unplugged, out of gas. I think the team was plugged in. I think out of mental gas, just trying to hold everything together. Last
everything
year
was held together by floss and shoestrings.
Yes. I like Jordan Renard. If you're going to go Kelby Collins, which I do like, I'll go Jordan Renard with an honorable mention for Jeremiah Beeman. I think Beeman's going to be pretty. I think Beeman has an upside that can surpass Tim Keenan. Not this year, but in the long run. I think Keenan definitely, not going to get surpassed by anybody by any means this year. Not trying to.
Each player's ceiling.
Yeah, I think Beeman has a very high ceiling. I think he's an aggressive player. I think he's a little bit quicker, maybe than Keenan. Now, not as wide, not as thick. But I think in a penetrating system where we are trying to get into a certain gap and trying to fill it, I like what Jeremiah Beeman can bring.
London Simmons feels like, again, kind of just being a freshman, a bit of the odd man out here. Probably not going to see too much time, I would imagine. I think
slap a big old red shirt on him.
Yeah, that works for me. Get him his 3 games, 4 games. Get him his limited time and some blowout games if you want to get him on the field a little bit, and throw your red shirt on him, because being a 3-star guy at Mississippi, it's not like you really expected him to be an instant impact kind of player anyway. I think this is a guy that you took as a more developmental prospect to begin with. So let's just let him learn behind some good players.
Did we talk about it last Friday about my red shirt idea for these cupcake games?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, just making sure. Like, we got to get him in against ULM. We got to get him in against Eastern Illinois. Obviously, we need to win those games. Alabama needs to win those games, sure. but you need.
I have a feeling, specifically Eastern Illinois, you're winning that game if we put the coaches on the field.
Freddie Roach still got some snaps.
I think you might.
Freddie, what was he, number 9? Was he not 9 at Alabama? I think he was.
That sounds right. Of course. Every picture is him as a coach. They're 8.
Oh, one off. Not good enough. Too young. Freddie was 04, 5, 6, 7 because he played with D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah, that was just before I really got locked into paying attention.
Yeah, so we'll see what Freddie can do with these guys. All right, let's talk about Freddie. Let's talk
big
about
year
Freddie.
for him this year.
Yes.
I don't think his seat is hot by any means.
That's the question, really, because you've got people in the Alabama sports sphere who do not like him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not one of them. I want to make that very, very, very clear that I am a big Freddie Roach fan.
Yeah.
I think that what he does for Alabama in the recruiting sphere is very important. And I think that he is developing these players fairly well. But I'm thinking of somebody specific that has a real eye against Freddie Roach. And basically, we were at SEC Media Days, and he was still doing well, if Freddie can get these guys coached up, then maybe they'll be good. And I thought, well, what's your opinion on Coach Roach and what this group's going to need to do to silence some of the haters? Or will the haters just always be there?
I mean, the haters will always be there. I think that's a given. Now, in order to quiet some of the less confident ones, I think you can do some things this year. I think if, I don't know that we're necessarily going to see 2016 level, 2017 defensive line levels again with, 2 first-round guys. I think both of them ended up being first-round guys, Ron Payne, Jonathan Allen. But I think you can get that feeling back a little bit of a really good, just almost at that elite level defensive line. And, Alabama has been missing that for now several years. I don't know that it's necessarily Freddie Roach's fault, because I think that Freddie Roach, his impact on this program goes so far beyond just what happens on the field. Like, it's invaluable. He is so like, what he does is so important. He is such a massive figure on the recruiting trail in getting all of these guys to come to Alabama. I don't think you can just throw that away or ignore it. But he certainly needs to maybe produce a little more on the field than he has. Maybe a big year out of Tim Keenan, a big year out of one of these guys, whoever it may be, pick one. That would certainly help his case a lot, and maybe get a bunch of these haters off of his back, a bunch of the people who maybe do not like him as much as you and I do. But like I said, I think regardless of whether you like what he's produced on the field or not, his impact for this program is so far beyond just that he is invaluable to the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I definitely think invaluable is probably the right adjective for Freddie Roach. And, just from a personal standpoint, I enjoy all the hell he has given me over the last year and change in the Malmore facility, just in little scrums for I've been wearing, I'll wear some of my Bears stuff sometimes. And are they any good? Is that quarterback going to be any good? What are they going to do? Are you going to give up on them? He always do that. Are you giving up on them yet? No, coach. I'm not giving up on them. Is this Alabama defense, like we talked about it with the linebackers? Mm-hmm. The first line guys were, you're feeling real good about them. I don't want to say A+, but you're feeling really good about the first line linebackers. I think you're feeling pretty good about the first line defensive linemen. Are you too deep? Are you not too deep, TOO? Are you too deep, TWO, on the defense? Because I don't know if you were TWO deep on the linebacker position, especially inside linebacker position. I think you are kind of at the wolf spot. Mm-hmm. But are you TWO deep on the defensive line?
I feel really good about most of these guys. I'm a little, I think Edric Hill and Steve Bolabuma, London, that defensive end room, maybe little bit of a question mark after James Smith there, but regardless.
But you can pop over or not, or pop Collins over there.
And I feel really good about those guys. So I think you are. I think, knock on wood, I'm not going to root for anybody getting hurt or anything, but, if it were to happen, I think you're still feeling okay about what you have at this position.
And you're still not, like, you look at this list, Katie did a great job, but you still got Jamarian Latham who can play both Bandit and Wolf. So, like, if something happens, Latham can pop right into the Bandit room. If, Collins whatever has to go over to defensive end, that sort of thing, or Renat has to go play defensive end, you can pop over Jamarian Latham to fill a gap right there.
Yeah, I feel good about saying they're too deep.
Excellent. So Alabama's defensive line, looking forward to that. We will get more and more for them next week as camp opens up. Out of camp, I might get chills down the spine. We're going to have real football to talk about. Finally, no more. Well, maybe. Possibly. Golly, I'm sick of that. I'm ready for the summer string of hypotheticals to be running out. We can watch some film and we can see some guys and Oh, make some projection. Now, you know what's going to happen, Mason. We're going to get invited to 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5 practices for our 15 minutes a pop. And all of our colleagues are going to say, well, Billy Smith looks so good. Billy Smith is going to be an All-American.
The jump from the spring to fall camp cannot be overstated.
The way that he hit those pads is much harder than he hit them in the spring.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It just lets me know that football is back. Overreaction season 2 is here.
So when Billy Smith's hips in the drills are just so fluid.
I have never seen this level of readiness from a freshman.
The anticipation that Billy Smith plays with is just otherworldly. I can't wait till Billy Smith gets on the field.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be a lot of that. It's gonna be a lot of quarterback reports. A lot of, I saw Keelan Russell throw one pass. He might be the starter.
Ty Simpson's release is just incredible. The ball is jumping out of his hands.
Somebody will have one bad day, and God forbid someone sees it, and they will be cast to the wolves. That quarterback
is Charlie Smith falling behind the competition.
I mean, quarterback Ty Simpson getting a little bit of media fodder the last 24 hours or so. I saw his dad put out that nice, lovely video of him.
Yeah, what did he say on Instagram? I came here with dreams. That's perfect little transition. I came here with dreams and aspirations of going to the NFL and leaving a legacy, and I feel like I can still do that. When I get on the field, Alabama fans should know. Man, this is going to make the gums go crazy. Alabama fans should know that I'm going to do everything it takes to win. I'm going to make sure I'm the toughest guy on the field. I'm going to make sure that I win. I'm going to make sure I know everything that's coming. I'm going to get the guys around me the ball. Can I can I bring you from 6.5, from 5.5, 6.5 to 8 with that quote? Come on, baby.
That quote does nothing for me. That provides me no context for what he will play like on the field. Other than tough. I might play recklessly with my body.
Tough.
And get hurt in the opening game.
He's going to play tough. That's what he's going to play like. He's going to play smart. He's going to know. I'm going to make sure that I know everything that's coming.
I hope he does. I hope that he does. I hope that he knows every single thing that's coming. I hope that he has a great season and that he rides himself off into the sunset as soon as that last snap happens in the final game of the year. And I hope he never comes back and plays another snap again.
I think that Ryan Grubb, Nick Sheridan, and Kalen DeBoer want that as well.
I hope that they understand the gravity of the situation they have put themselves in by allowing him to be the starter.
Yeah, I think that's a good transition for where we're going with here with Tayden Kaawa, because if Ty Simpson has a B+ year and he sees Cade Klubnik and Lenore Sellers and Arch Manning and Drew Aller and Garrett Nussmeier all say, hey guys,
that's not gonna get you there, buddy.
We all had a good year. The NFL is calling. And he says, man, 5 first-round quarterback. Do I really want to go? Do I want to be a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th-round quarterback? Quinn Ewers, 7th-round quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I want to come back to school and try to lead the boys again, second line, and leave a legacy? Oh, man, a legacy would look a whole lot better with 2 years rather than 1. Oh, man, I think
that is worst case scenario.
Yes.
Ty Simpson fans, any of you that are listening, you need to realize that's your worst case scenario. He cannot come back for another season. I don't care.
I hate saying this.
I do too.
It's uncomfortable.
I don't want to say this.
It's uncomfortable.
Look, I know I've said, I know I have not been a fan of Ty Simpson. I will continue to not be a fan of Ty. I like Ty. I like him as a person. Don't think he's a bad guy whatsoever. I don't want bad things to happen to Ty. But that's your worst case scenario. He cannot stay for longer than this year.
Yeah.
You can't have a logjam at quarterback. I'll take a logjam at every other position on the field. Can't have it at quarterback.
I had a B+ year. We went 10-2. They left us out of the playoffs because we lost to Georgia and South Carolina. We didn't make the SEC championship game.
Bama Nation, I'm back.
We got a New Year's Six bowl game instead of a playoff game.
Probably lost
we
it.
won it or lost it. Sure. Great. Either one. It doesn't matter at that point. It's a bowl game. It's an exhibition. It doesn't matter. And you get jobs not finished. Because Cade Klubnik takes Clemson all the way to the national championship game, beating Lenora Sellers, Arch Manning, whoever, right? And the NFL is, Arch Manning, number 1, Cade Klubnik, number 2, Drew Allard, number 5, Garrett Nussmeier, number 12. Oh, that's the problem that you're facing right now.
I've said it's 9 months ago.
And I think that leads us right into what happened yesterday, because Alabama gets their second quarterback commit of the class, Tayden Kaawa, out of Utah, right? So I'm going to put his tape on because I haven't really looked at him. I've had a strange week, honestly, because of the power situation at the house. Thank you, Derek Daniel. Let's shout that out as I pull this clip up. Derek Daniel, State Farm, right here in Tuscaloosa. Call him 205-758-3391 for all of your insurance needs. Home insurance, life insurance, auto insurance. I was big on him with the life insurance when I was a married man. We'll get back on the life insurance as well. But if you have people that you care about in your life, you need to make sure that you have life insurance as well. Derek Daniel can hook you up with great life insurance. He's got me taken care of on the home insurance front and the auto insurance front. 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. All right, so Alabama gets a new quarterback commit. We talked to Jet Tamala about 3-4 weeks ago, really at a 4th of July weekend. And so that was great to chat with Jet. Thank you so much for your time, Jet. If you missed that interview, you can find it on all the platforms. Just type in Jet Tamala, Joe Gaither Show. It'll pop right up. But not 3-4 weeks later, not even a month later, we're not out of the month of July yet. Alabama commits a second quarterback, Tayden Kaawa, 6'5". I missed the weight because I'm looking at the film right now. Out of Utah. What, Mason? 2 quarterbacks in the class?
Yeah. I think this is the situation that this is the bet that you've made. Kalen DeBoer and Nick Sheridan and Ryan Grubb and the rest of the staff.
But you weren't going to run anybody off. You were always going to recruit Keelan Russell.
You were always going to recruit Keelan Russell. You were always going to have probably 1 quarterback in this class at least. But now you got to go get 2 because the situation is here where we get a B, B+, B-, C, whatever year it is from Ty Simpson. And he comes back to run it back again, and then you have a massive logjam at the quarterback room, and you are looking at Keelan Russell wanting to meet with you in your office. Austin Mack wants to meet with you and say, well, Lane Kiffin just offered me $1.5 million to come play football this season. And that is your worst case scenario. That's what you cannot have.
It'd be Brian Kelly because Nussmeier's moving on. Austin Simmons is young. So it's going to be Brian Kelly saying, hey, so-and-so. Don't you want to come play for the Tigers? Play down in Death Valley with all these great athletes?
Remember how Alabama didn't want you to play there? I want you to play. I'll let you play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
It's South Carolina calling. Did you have fun at Williams-Brice Stadium? Don't you want to play here for 8 games next year?
That's not what you want.
We just lost to Norris. Open room.
Can't. Look, if that situation presents itself, you want to, I guess, lose Austin Mack before you're losing Keelan Russell. You don't want to lose either of them, though. I think you firmly do not want to lose either of them. And if Ty Simpson comes back, you absolutely will lose one of them. I mean, it is. You can tattoo it on me. One of them will transfer,
unless both of those guys are just like nuts in the brain.
Sure, one of them will transfer.
Right. It's inevitable.
Mm-hmm. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably going to be Keelan Russell.
No.
Who's going to have the bigger market?
Yeah, I mean, fair. But
SMU is going to come call Kevin Jennings. He'll be gone. SMU, they'll back the Brinks truck up. We had you once, buddy. We'll get you again.
No, don't do it.
This is the situation that Kalen DeBoer and the staff have created. Now, again, you were never going to run anybody off this year.
Right. Because if you run Ty off after losing Milrow, you're turning it over to a child.
Mm-hmm.
You're turning it over to Austin Mack. You've never played high level football before.
Yeah.
Good throw in the Mercer game. Thank you. That was sweet.
It's awesome.
But now you're playing against Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
No, and that scares the ever living mess out of me.
Yeah.
Or you're turning it over to Keelan Russell, who nice arm, fun athlete. We like what you got on from a raw skill standpoint, but now we're taking you into South Carolina. We're taking you to Florida State that first week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I believe some of these some of this thought process should have happened around week 6-7 last season when it was Jalen Milrow's not been great this year. We have some opportunities to maybe get some of these other guys reps in some of these games. Hey, let's start doing that. Let's start focusing on doing that. But you did not. You chose not to. So now you are in a situation where you have one guy that's got like a tiny amount of reps, and then two guys that have no reps.
We're rolling the dice, and Kalen DeBoer is coming up sevens with Ty Simpson. Heisman Trophy finalist.
You better hope. You better hope so.
Heisman Trophy finalist, NFL team salivating. They're going to say, oh, we want you more than Drew Aller. Top 10 pick.
That's what you got to have this year. I mean, I don't.
Because it could work out.
Yes, it absolutely could. I don't want to sit here and act like the disaster is here, because it's not. That disaster situation is not even here yet, and it won't be here for another however many months now, 6-7 months potentially. And just saying it could happen,
but it makes me bleeping nervous.
Does it make me nervous? You need Ty Simpson to play good enough this season to be a first or second round draft pick.
First,
ideally first.
The class is so loaded.
Yes, ideally first. I think, just given what I have seen from him and his family and everything, he doesn't need the money very much. He's probably just going to go to the NFL if he gets the chance.
All right, so let's move to Tayden Kaawa. What do we see in the quarterback? 6'4", 200 pounds, according to his huddle tape. Orem High School. The first thing that I just noticed watching his tape, we need to go see a game out there because the backdrop is immaculate. The backdrop is art. There's mountains and sunshine and just like if you put his huddle tape on, yeah, he looks like a good quarterback. But the first thing that caught my eye was, oh my gosh, what a gorgeous place to play football. Orem, Utah, 3,200 passing yards, 35 total touchdowns. Also 300 rushing yards as well. So moves just a hair, just a little bit, not getting bottled up in the pocket. But what I'm also seeing is a first read merchant.
A
little bit of I'm going to pick out my guy before the snap, I'm loading up, and I'm going to fit it in there, which is fine at a high school level, honestly.
Sure. And a lot of these are really nice throws to that first read.
Yeah. So like, okay, I can look at a matchup, and like some of that sounds like a detriment, but also you need to hear the compliment as well.
Yeah.
I am reading the defense before the snap. I'm seeing Billy is the matchup here against they're showing cover 1, they're showing cover 3, they're showing cover 2, whatever it is. So Billy's the matchup here, and I'm gonna stop, set, and fire. So like, there's a little bit of there's a compliment and criticism at the same time. He can deliver the football. We'll say that, especially at the high school level.
Tua Tagovailoa made himself a very nice career off of hitting that first read on a play.
Knowing where to go and delivering the football. That's a very, very good quality to have. Now, is it always translatable at high level football? No.
Not necessarily.
But I think that he can deliver the football.
I'm impressed by his escapability. He's able to weave in and out of pressure in the pocket and kind of keep his eyes downfield and make plays happen. Still, he's not necessarily just tucking the ball and running when he feels any bit of pressure. He does look like he has a strong arm. He's able to push the ball downfield pretty far when he does do it. I'm encouraged. I think, like I said earlier, I think his skill set, him and Jet Tamala have kind of a similar skill set as far as just
that was a nice red zone read.
A big arm that can make a lot of throws. I don't know that Jet necessarily has the athletic upside that Tayden Kaawa does, but I'm impressed by both these guys. I think these are both the types of quarterbacks you were going after in this class. Neither of them are 5-star number 1 in the class or whatever, but they are both very solid options.
All right, second watch through this tape. There's a couple of these where he's moving off his first option. There are a couple. Nice red zone read. There's a couple of these he's moving off his first option. I agree with you. The escapability, maneuvering in the pocket. That was a nice ball. Getting down the field. He stands in the pocket well. I'll say that. The pocket gets crunched a couple of different times, and he stands in there and delivers a football. So Jet Tamala or Tayden Kaawa. That's because that's what's going to come in the next couple of years. It's I'm a team Jet. I'm a team Caden.
I think the likelihood that both of them are on this roster in 2 years' time, 3 years' time is probably slim.
Right. You're looking at Eli Holstein, Dylan Lonergan situation where both of them come in and both of them depart in different times.
Yeah, I think that's probably a situation you're looking at here. It just all depends. It all cruxes on Ty Simpson and what happens with him. If he takes his 12 games this year and then is off to the NFL, that's awesome. Go do your thing, buddy. We get 2 years of Keelan Russell, and in steps one of you gentlemen. But it all just depends on what's going to happen with Ty Simpson.
It's beautiful out there.
It does look
beautiful out there in Utah.
So he's originally from Honolulu, Hawaii, played at Mauna Loa High School for the Minahune, which I don't even know what that means. It's like some Hawaiian mythical dwarf creature that they named as their mascot, which was hilarious. So yeah, he transferred this past season, and from what I have gathered, Orem is one of the top 10 high school football teams in Utah. So he's playing against at least as good of competition as he could be at that level. And like we said, threw for over 3,000 yards, 28 touchdowns. I think he had another 6 or 7 on the ground, 300 yards. So pretty good player.
This quarterback situation makes me nervous, but honestly, we're getting way ahead of ourselves.
Sure. But got to. You don't think Kalen DeBoer's thinking about this?
Of course he is.
You don't think Nick Sheridan's waking up in cold sweats in the middle of the night? How am I going to get Ty Simpson to the NFL this year?
Well, I'm a big fan of Nick Sheridan. I know that lots of people last year thought he did a poor job, and I heard that a lot at SEC Media Days. Well, they got a new play caller. Sheridan didn't do a good job. I think that's total hooey. I think that
man was handcuffed all season.
Oh my gosh, yes. You're operating out of the bottom end of the playbook, out of limited passing concepts, and you're talking about, you don't have a traditional running game. Yeah, because they don't respect your passing game at all. And so he had a couple of about the first 6 weeks of the season, the offense looked pretty viable, and then it started to really collapse and shrink in, and you're like, oh shoot, these defenses are knowing what you're doing here.
It's almost like defenses figured out, you have to be really one-dimensional because of one player on the field that is causing that.
I think the Ty is going to really unlock the play, open it up, and I think that Sheridan put Milroe in as good a situations as he could have been in last year.
Jalen Milroe is playing NFL football right now.
Yes.
Come on, folks. What are we doing?
I'm a big Nick Sheridan. I think that Sheridan is going to match up what Ty Simpson can do skill-wise. And then, can we be honest? The 25 skill room dwarfs the 24 skill room.
Yeah.
Second year Ryan and Jeremy together. Okay, you add Isaiah Horton. Sorry, Kendrick Law, but you were Gadrick fella. Sorry, Kobe Prentice, but you were, not so hot either. Cole Adams was Cole Adams and was nice for a little bit, then gets hurt. Jalen Hale has one good catch and then gets hurt. And
forgot Kobe Prentice went to Baylor. Had to look that up.
Do you think he's going to have a good game against Auburn that first week?
Dominates them. I will be watching.
Kobe Prentice revenge.
I will be watching now that I know that.
Kobe Prentice revenge. Moctezuma's revenge.
On
a Friday night, right? On a Friday night.
Yeah. That was a guy I was very high on coming out of high school, but Calera High School.
Well,
regardless though, this year's room is, like you said,
dwarfs.
Yeah.
And the running back room is even better. I mean, you lost Justice Haynes, but Justice.
Boo-hoo. Sorry, but
true. You get third year Jam Miller in the program. You get really second year Richard Young. and then Daniel Mountain smashing people. I think that you're going to spread out. You're going to be operating in spread formations. You're going to be 3-by-1, 3 wide receivers and Josh Cuevas out there. Everybody's spread off the line. So you're basically going to have Simpson and Daniel Hill in the backfield, Simpson and Richard Young. And it's going to be, y'all want to spread out and guard Ryan Williams and guard Jeremy Bernard and Isaiah Horton? Boom, 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 boom. Like
that video of the guy punching the bam, 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 bam. All game.
Like everything.
Oh, you want to step into the box now? Jeremy, Ryan, Isaiah, whoever you want is going to beat you downfield.
All those concepts that you saw that you've seen from Josh Heupel in Tennessee, it's not going to be exactly like that because you're not going to be as wide and you're not going to be as gimmicky as Josh Heupel. Like that's a level 10 as far as gimmicky, but it's going to be the same concept of we will spread your butt out. And if you're not guarding us 30 yards down the field because Ryan and Jeremy and Isaiah can get down there, then sorry, buddy, we'll take that. And if you are backing off, then you're just going to get hammered. I think the offense is going to look completely different this year. I mean, you'll still get quarterback run a little, but I think what you're going to do is you haven't seen quarterback run all game, guys. We've been operating this offense that I just described, and now it's 3rd and 2. It's 3rd and 2 on the 40-yard line with 1:40 left to go, with 2:30 left to go. Alabama needs a first down to ice the game, and it's read option. Ty Simpson pulls, goes for 8 yards, slides, gets up, does the first down marker, and everybody goes crazy. Like,
yeah, that's what we hope for.
Oh, maybe I'm just an idealist there, but I think it's going to look a lot better. I think it's going to look a lot different this year with a quarterback who can read the defense and operate a variety of different passing concepts. Let me clear this marker real quick. I got something on my phone.
I am. Look, I will continue to not necessarily be Ty's biggest fan, but like I am in agreement. This will be the offense will be improved.
Well, if it's not that, then you're bringing in Russell and Mack.
Either way, yeah. I think regardless of who is on the field, I think you're getting a better quarterback, a better top-end quarterback than you had with Jalen Milroe. Now, look, I don't want to. I'm not saying this to say anything bad about Jalen Milroe, any more than I already have on this show. But I think at bare minimum, like I said, you're getting probably higher level quarterback play than you had last year. And that will open up the playbook, open up the offense, just allow it to look a little better, a little smoother, a little more efficient.
You have to respect the passing game to create a running game, in my opinion. If you're just bottled in the box and you don't respect the passing game, it makes running the football really tough.
Yeah.
All right, Mason, I think we've beaten this topic into the ground. Let's burn one more topic up with which one? You want to go Rhett Lastly or you want to go Kirk Cignetti?
Let's start with Kirk Cignetti.
We're adopting the SEC scheduling model.
Such a fool. He's just I'm really tired of it. I liked this shtick a little bit last year, the whole whatever it was, whatever you want to call it. And then it started, I started to grow weary of it. What did he say last year? We don't beat top 25 teams. We beat the crap out of them or something like that. And then he went and got absolutely stomped by, I don't even remember who it was that week.
They're playing Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State this year for their non-conference games. They've already got Colorado State and Western Kentucky on the schedule in 26, Kennesaw State, Indiana State, and UMass in 27, Austin Peay and Eastern Michigan in 28, Ball State, Eastern Illinois, and Western Kentucky in 29. Now, the difference is they do have the ninth conference game. Now, is that ninth conference game against Northwestern? Is it against let's think about the other bottom end. Is it against UCLA? Is it against Rutgers? Or is it against Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, those types, Oregon's? And it just depends on these conference schedules are so damn imbalanced. And it's the same thing in the SEC, but they're so imbalanced that you are able to hide inside. We play 9 conference games. We play 9 conference games. Well, are you Texas this year and you're playing Kentucky, Vanderbilt, and Mississippi State? Or do you get some, like, these conference schedules are so imbalanced that it is easy to hide inside. Well, we play 9 conference games. You're right. Are you playing Purdue or are you playing Ohio State? Like, what are we doing here?
When you did play Ohio State,
wrecked,
demolished 38-15, and that was not a competitive at all 38. It was if I recall correctly,
they were wrecking them. And
it was like 38-0, and then it was a couple garbage time touchdowns for Indiana after Ohio State took their foot off the gas. Your best win last season was against the worst Michigan team of the last 4 or 5 seasons, 8-5, 5-4 in the Big Ten. You lost, I don't know what Curt Cignetti is I don't know where this confidence is coming from. He has not beaten anyone of note to earn this.
Well, he's got the best. He said it the other day, the best Indiana season ever. The best he says
sick, man.
Number 1 out of 126 seasons.
Yes, awesome. Everyone knows historically great Indiana football program. It's like what are we talking about? It's insane. That's not any sort of accomplishment.
They got this year. Okay, your conference games.
Oh, it's atrocious.
Your conference game: Illinois at Iowa, at Oregon. All right, we love that.
Good.
Michigan State, UCLA, Maryland, at Penn State, Wisconsin, and at Purdue. So really,
better than last year.
If you jokers, you know what they're going to do. They're going to lose at Iowa in that first road game. It's going to be 10-3. It's going to be 10-7. No, I'm just kidding. But you're going to have to show me something. October 11th. Yeah, Illinois
fighting Brett Bielema.
Yeah. All this chat here. You better not lose that first conference game,
buddy. Your ass better be back in the playoff this year, buddy. Because if not, you got a long off season ahead of you, Curt Cignetti.
I think you have a kind of a tough. I mean, I think you have a tough.
They will not be back.
No,
they won't. But he has to get back. But they won't be. They will not be. You're losing to Illinois. You're losing to Oregon. You're losing to Penn State, and then you're dropping probably 1 to Wisconsin, Purdue, Michigan State, or Iowa. You're dropping one of those.
I think that might be a hair too far, but I'm going to give them 3 losses for sure. I'm going to say Oregon and Penn State, yep, and then I'll give you one of these other one of these other conference games. That leaves you at 9-3, and you're out.
Mm-hmm.
That leaves you at 9-3, and you're at 17. You're at 16. You're at 18, and you're complaining about we should be in.
Mm-hmm.
We should be in.
Look,
we were undefeated in non-conference play by beating Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State, and we beat UCLA. We beat Wisconsin.
Here's what will happen. Old Dominion will somehow rattle off like 9 or 10 wins this year, and they'll hang their hat on that. It's absurd.
But 9-3, we should be in.
Yeah, I have grown weary of Curt Cignetti's shtick at this point. I liked it at first, but he has overstayed his welcome on my television and on my timeline.
You know, former Alabama coach Curt Cignetti.
Yes, I'm aware. That's why I wanted to root for him for the longest time. But I am no longer rooting for him. I'm actively rooting against Indiana when I watch them now.
Well, we can just pull the shtick if they're successful. Hashtag built by Bama.
There we go.
I got friends that like hate on me for that, and I just go hashtag built by Bama. You know, whenever running back for the Saints,
Alvin Kamara.
Yes, okay, perfect. Whenever Kamara goes off, hashtag built by Bama.
I can't wait to say it after Julian Sayin goes off this year.
Yes, he was here for 2 weeks. Hashtag
that'll be a good one.
Built by.
Guess who just took the stage at ACC Media Days?
Castellanos.
Mike Norvell is up there as we speak, but yes, he is accompanied by Thomas Castellanos and a few other Earl Little Jr. and Daryl Jackson Jr. at the podium there.
That just made my loins tingle.
Who's gonna be the one to ask? Both of them. Who's gonna ask Mike Norvell about it, and then who's gonna ask Thomas Castellanos about it?
Hopefully, our man Graham.
That's what I hope.
Graham asks him. I know Graham's over there for Boston College on SI.
Yeah, that's who I'm seeing this from. He shared the image here of Mike Norvell at the podium. They got a nice little setup there at ACC Media
What's
Days.
his tag? I'm about to give him a retweet.
At Graham_Dietz, Dietz.
Dietz. Yep, got him right here. Perfect.
I gotta say, the ACC, they got this podium here. It's really kind of putting the SECs to shame. It's got like a screen on it. It looks like that's pretty sweet. And I don't know, did the SEC do the uniforms where they had every team's uniform like on the mannequins lined up?
What they did was every day going into the college football playoff,
yeah.
they had the three teams
four
teams.
You got to give me all. I'll give me all the teams. I saw several videos of people going down the line of down the hallway. That was a really cool visual. You got to give me that.
You had a display for all four teams, and if you stayed long enough, because you were working long enough on one of those days, you got to see those displays get interchanged out. And I'm like, yep, we've been here too long. Time to go back to the hotel. They're getting ready for tomorrow already. We got to get back and get to bed. One more then. Rhett Lashley goes off on the SEC as well, basically saying they are not, fraudulent conference. They are not what they think they are. Says the SEC has had the same 6 schools win the championship since 1964. Mm-hmm. Not a single one has been different since 1964. That's top heavy to me. That's not depth. So 6 schools. It's Alabama. It's Georgia. It's Auburn, LSU. It's Florida, and it's Tennessee. Anyone else? Is he lying, or is that just everybody off the top of my head?
No, I think
Ole Miss never,
right.
State never,
No.
Arkansas never.
No.
That's it right there.
Yep.
6 since 64. My father, was born in 61.
The ACC's had what? One team win at 8 of the last 10 years. This is the stat I saw. I don't really know that you are don't know that you're in a position to speak, Rhett Lashley, because the only time that your conference has really been relevant in this sport, it's been dominated by one program. Not a great spot to stand on. I also saw, and I'm blanking on who it was now. Was it? I don't remember who it was. Somebody pointing out that the ACC champion Clemson did indeed go 0-3 against the SEC last season. So, not sure that the level of competition is really remotely comparable there. I don't know, just an interesting. You look.
Everybody's been in the propaganda meter.
Yeah,
that's all it is. That's
I'm poking fun at Rhett Lashley, but he does make a bit of a valid point. Obviously, it's a bit of a valid point. The SEC has been a bit top heavy. I don't think any of us can ignore that. But everyone is. It's been that way in every conference. Michigan and Ohio State have dominated the Big Ten for the last however long. Clemson, like I just said, dominated the ACC. Before that, it was Florida State. Before that, it was Miami. It's just how it goes.
I had a friend yesterday, because the NIL basically they ruled that you can still pay people through the collective, right?
Yes.
And I'll get more details on that, but basically they ruled that you can still pay people through the collectives. And I had a friend be like, well, that's the death of college football. It's officially bought. You can buy brother, it's been bought my entire lifetime. Mississippi State, Arkansas, they're not playing the same sport as the 6 teams we just mentioned in the SEC. You got Florida, great. Florida, Tennessee, LSU, Auburn, Alabama, and Georgia are all just a half tier above your South Carolina, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, like the have-nots. The haves and have-nots have been in college football forever.
Yep.
Forever. Well, not forever, but at least since my lifetime.
Since it became what we recognize as college football now, basically, yes.
Right. I was born in 89, so at least in my lifetime. I ask, when's the last underdog national champion? When? The only thing that I caught was Auburn in 2010, but they bought Superman to put him on the team.
Yeah.
They bought an alien, right? You buy an alien.
And even then, it took every little bit of grind, with a field goal right at the last second, right?
Yeah. Before that, I'm thinking about You've got Saban LSU teams, where you've got the 05 USC teams, you've got the 02 Miami teams, you've got, I mean, maybe the Nebraskas in the early 90s. You go 3 in a row, 2-3 in a row with Nebraska in the 90s. Wasn't Georgia Tech undefeated in 1990? I believe they were. You got Notre Dame in 89. Like, they're still Notre Dame. That's big box brand Notre Dame. Like, how far back do we need to go before you get a real underdog national champion?
Long ways.
Is it Clemson in like 82, 83? Didn't they go undefeated in the early 80s at one point? I think they did. Like, it's just always been dominated by big brands. Like, I'm sorry, Iowa is all
BYU 84.
Okay,
there we go. I guess that might count. And I mean that was in like name only. It wasn't in, it was, they were.
Is that Ty Detmer or he was later?
Let's see if I can.
84. No, that's going to be my man Jim McMahon, right?
Head coach Lavelle Edwards. Oh, let's see if I could find, if they want to tell me.
Yeah, Jim McMahon at 77 to 81 at BYU. So a little bit after
Cody
that.
Carlson.
All right, great job, Cody. Like, but what are we doing? Like,
yeah,
you have Tennessee in 98. You got Florida State in that same era. You've got all the Miami squad in the late 80s, early 90s. Like, these are big box brands with big box players.
Yeah. I mean, I get Miami, I guess, was kind of turned into that.
Sure.
But that was.
But all those
still
players,
over the course of like 15, 20 years, like it started in the late 70s, early 80s. And then by the time we reached the peak of them in the late 90s, 2000s, it's like, oh, yeah, we all know Miami. They've been here for the last 15 years.
It's all about the U.
Yeah.
Penn State? Joe Paterno take little old Penn State into something? Maybe. But like in our lifetime.
Clemson, I think, is the best example that we can look at in our life. Dabo and Clemson. Little old Clemson,
We're riding that Roy bus.
Sure. You almost got there with Taj Boyd. You almost got there with what was the other guy? I can't remember the guy. But, you were right there on the cusp, winning 9-10 games, and then finally you break through with Deshaun Watson, and you get to the promised land there.
That's why Dabo would never work here, because he can't use the Roy bus line. You'd never work in Alabama because little old Alabama riding that rest of y'all bust. Oh, goodness. Well, I still love it, and it's still the sport that I've always grown up with. Yeah. It's just out in the open. Rhett Lashley is right. It is top-heavy in the SEC, but it's top-heavy.
Top-heavy everywhere.
Exactly. Mason Woods, I think we're about out of time. Anything else you want to leave the people with? Tomorrow, we will be joined by MattStallAL.com. We will be joined reportedly on Friday by Bobby Humphrey, former Alabama running back. He's featured prominently in the Nothing But a Winner documentary that we talked about last Friday with Jimmy Jenkins. So we will reportedly be joined by Bobby Humphrey, Alabama running back legend. That will be exciting, super exciting to me. And we'll also reportedly be joined by Zay Hall, Alabama football commit, Hillcrest High School by way of Paul Bryant High School. So Friday looks like a big show. Anything else on your plate today, Mason?
No, I'm interested to see what this latest ruling in this NIL ongoing saga means for this NIL Go and collective. I don't think there's really a whole lot of information for us to go off of other than just some tweets in the last 24 hours. But as it comes out, I'm interested to see more and more about it.
We'll do it tomorrow on the Joe Gaither Show. We appreciate everybody who's watching us on the BamaCentral YouTube channel, on our own social media machines, listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. Call Derek Daniel for all of your insurance needs. 205-758-3391. We didn't get a voicemail over the last 24 hours. If you want to leave us a voicemail about anything that we said, agreeing, disagreeing, or bring up your own topic, you can at 205-462-7340, extension 800. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral and BamaCentral.com.